Hi Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I am going to be doing your May 2021 full moon reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, if you want to help support this channel, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps the channel grow, and it makes me astoundingly happy. So thank you guys so very much. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bulls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. How will Scorpio be affected by the 2021 full moon? How will Scorpio be affected by the May 2021 full moon? How will Scorpio be affected by the May 2021 full moon? How will Scorpio be affected by the May 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Perfect. Think of the spread as a tree, the branches here, the trunk and the roots here. All right. The left-hand side is the inner self, the middle, the heart, the emotional self, the right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. And this is what stabilizes us. This is also going to be what supports us, the trunk, the roots right here. So we have the Tower and we have the King of Pentacles. A lot has changed, and there is prosperity coming forward in our lives because of that change, even though it might not seem that way at this time. We have the Five of Pentacles and we have the Five of Wands. There is chaos, there is a poverty mentality, and that comes from what we have been experiencing and the uproar that this moon brings us. And it does bring a bit of an uproar. We have the Three of Pentacles and we have another five. We have the Five of Swords. Now the repeat of the number 5, that's a freedom number. That's a number of change and of pushing things forward. We can see this during this time. We want change. We're longing for change. Then we have the Seven of Wands, and we have the Nine of Wands. So what's so funny here is that this isn't a peaceful time for us. It just isn't. But this isn't as chaotic as it first seems. There's a lot of things that we're getting straightened out, and there's a lot of things that we're claiming as our own and seeing as what we desire, and really releasing the rest of it and saying, it's not for me, I don't want it, I'm not being ruled this way. there's a profound and intense change that leads us to prosperity. And there's the resistance that we meet along the way. And also this sense of, am I willing to change this way? Like, is this the step that I want to take? And the fact of the matter is, it is. Even if it seems outlandish, even if it seems crazy, even if it seems like this is the kind of spread where this is the kind of reading where it's almost like, I want to run away and join the circus type of thing. We want to do something over the top. We want to do something completely freeing. We want to do something that others would consider crazy. And it doesn't have to be that we run away and join the circus. But for some of us, we might just try that. So here, keep the mind open and release a lot of preconceived notions. That's going to be so important. So on the 26th of May, we have the full moon in Sagittarius. This is the flower moon named by the Native Americans for the flowers that bloom in May. It is the Sagittarius full moon. It tells us to look at the bigger picture. But this is also the biggest and the brightest moon of the year. It is the second supermoon, and it is the closest moon to the Earth of 2021. It is also one of the rarest moons, as it is a blood moon, a lunar eclipse, the first lunar eclipse of the year, and it holds such power to it. It is a supermoon. So this is a moon that we want amplified, and it will be amplified because of the lunar eclipse. And for us personally during this time, Scorpio, we might think, why is all of this energy getting amplified? This is chaos. This is intensity. This is things being overwhelmed. But this is the game changer. This is the fact that we're not following the same patterns anymore. This is the breaking free, where once we had felt stuck. This is a freedom-finding, intense, overpowering time. But this is a time where we walk out better than we walked in, where we see things more clearly and more openly and more honestly. And in part, it's because of Sagittarius. Sagittarius is ruled by benevolent Jupiter, and is a time to laugh rather than to judge. It is a time for optimism and positivity, to sit back and to seek out adventures and seek out wisdom. This is also an astoundingly idealistic time. So we have to be mindful of this. We're going to think, oh, things will be better if I was in charge, if things were just perfect. This is what utopia looks like. But what we have to understand is what Dostoevsky told us. If we made our own utopia, we would pop them like bubbles, never being satisfied with the world that we created for ourselves. This is a time to look at the bigger picture, to not get caught up in the details and the minutiae, to say there's more here than meets the eye, and actually mean it. Now, during this lunar eclipse, Gemini, Sagittarius, Virgo, and Pisces are going to be more affected by this lunar eclipse and also by the solar eclipse on the 10th of June. Be mindful of where these signs fall within your chart because of the intensity that will be brought out within them. The moon is in Sagittarius, the sun is in Gemini, the sun and the new moon will both be in Gemini, so during the new moon, so that's going to be a time for conversation and for inquisitiveness. But during this time, with the moon in Sagittarius and the sun in Gemini, these are sister signs. And just as sisters, they can build each other up. They know each other astoundingly well. They can be beautiful and powerful and wonderful together. But they can also be sisters and chaotic and spiteful and mean and vindictive and know the exact right button to push at the exact wrong time. So this is a time to be mindful of that energy and how those energies play together and the discord, but also the harmony that you will feel during this time. The moon is squared Jupiter, so be mindful of the news that is received and the revelations that come because of it. Because during this time, things are going to be exaggerated and our emotions are going to be played off of. And because we're really moving towards this idealistic notion and towards this sense of my emotions can solve everything, we have to be mindful of how that's being manipulated and how that's being played. So stepping back, being very mindful, being very thoughtful is going to be super important. With Jupiter squared during this time, it is a wonderful time to create, and it's a wonderful time to see things anew, and we can really see that our heart is longing for this. We have to slow down, and we have to not let Sagittarius energy take fire. Light everything on fire and just watch it burn, because there's a hint within all fire sign energies of that energy, of that sense of, let me see it burn, let me see what happens and what I discover because of that. With the lunar eclipse, things are coming to a head, okay, with this moon. And because things are coming to a head, the lunar eclipse brings things to a head because conclusions are within reach. Because of Sagittarius, what we see is that the truth starts to come forward. And we start to see the profound places within our lives that need change. And that comes out more powerfully for you, Sagittarius, Scorpio, than I have seen for anybody else. So during this time, things are coming to a head. Truth is needed. And it's not surprising that this moon would be so serious for you, because you seek the truth. You seek what is hidden in between spaces and places. Conclusions are within reach. They're not going to be the conclusions that everybody else wants, but they are going to wind up being the conclusions that you are quite satisfied with. With the supermoon, emotions run high, and this is a time of attracting what is needed. Because our emotions are running so high during this time, we can attract chaos to us, because emotionally we're not sure where we stand. But because we're purging out so much poison that has been a part of our existence for too long, we are also going to start attracting healing, and healing is going to be a must for us. With the new moon in Gemini, this is on the 10th of June. It says here conclusions are within reach, but no, communication is key. Conclusions are within reach. Yes, we see that. And there's a powerful part of that energy that comes forward for the Gemini new moon. We are going to see that through communication, through stating what we desire, through stepping back and seeing and discovering, this solar eclipse, which is during this time, okay, brings new beginnings. The new moon always brings new beginnings. These new beginnings are amplified by the solar eclipse. The unexpected starts to come, and the unexpected happens first within our mind. And we see that right here, that the unexpected kind of takes us off guard, and it makes us rather defensive within the public arena. But it also starts to clarify things in a way and show us truths in a way that we hadn't seen before. And it empowers us, it emboldens us. And so we start to come to these things in our mind first, and then we start to communicate them to the rest of the world, what we desire and where it is that we want to be. It moves us, and this time prepares us for the full moon in Capricorn, where the end of a tough cycle approaches, where we start to lay down a solid foundation, and we start to build something practical and sensible and sturdy with this earth sign energy of this is where I need to be, this is what I'm developing, this is what I want. And just this practical discernment starts coming forward. The new moon, the full moon in Capricorn, is on the 24th of June. It moves us then to the spirit animal message for May. And the spirit animals of May are the beaver and the elk spirit. We do have the stag standing in because I don't have an elk card. Now the beaver spirit says, lay a solid foundation. Laying a solid foundation is important for us during this time because we feel like things are constantly in upheaval, because we are changing, because we are cultivating, because we are pushing limitations. It's time to trust our creativity. Accomplishments through cooperation are dear to our heart, but also we're going to see that it's through collaboration, cooperation, coming together, that we start to transcend ideas and ideals and things that were holding us back before. We lay the solid foundation, and all of a sudden the world starts to open up, and it's our jump start. Now, with the elk spirit is beautiful. It says that we are entering into a time of plenty, and everything you need, you will get. Not everything you want, but everything you need. This has the stag spirit standing in for it, because it says take the leap. Because if we are entering into a time of plenty, if everything we need, we achieve, we get, we acquire, why can't we take that leap of faith? Why can't we jump? This is a time where we need to springboard, and it's calling us towards plenty, towards abundance. Now, the spirit animals for June are the eagle spirit and the deer spirit. The deer spirit is one of my favorite spirit animals. It just is. It says, bring a gentle touch. And I believe our world is missing the power of a gentle touch, of kindness, of compassion, of understanding. Everybody is so busy yelling at one another. Everybody is so busy being right and absolutely knowing it that we forget the kindness of the world. We forget the quiet of the world. And we need to bring that back, connect that within our hearts. Not the negativity, the anger, the hatred, the fear, but the love, the compassion, the understanding. Bring a gentle touch. The deer spirit symbolizes sensitivity, intuition, gentleness, and fertility. Because when we are calm, when we are in love with our life, and when we are walking a path of happiness, we create, we cultivate, we walk upon fertile ground, and we create that fertile ground. In Buddhism, the deer symbolizes harmony, happiness, peace, and longevity. The eagle spirit says spirit has your back, and it does, because the eagle spirit in Native American tradition is linked very closely with the creator spirit and is seen as the messenger of the creator. It is a symbol of leadership and authority. It is a symbol of courage, strength, and wisdom, because it is bringing us knowledge from the creator that we ourselves could not see. It flies higher. It knows more than we ever can. Let's see what our chakra message is for this time. Scorpio. How will Scorpio be affected by the May 2021 full moon? Scorpio. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Self-mastery. And that makes perfect sense because things are being turned on their head. We are seeing, cultivating, desiring, pushing the realms of limitation. This is a time that we master ourselves because partial and mostly we're forced to. This is the solar plexus chakra. We listen to our gut. We listen to what we desire. We listen to what we need. We listen to what we want. We see how our lives develop. We see where we stand and what we stand for, what we love, what we want, and where we don't want to be anymore. It brings us to mastering our soul, to calling forward the power within ourselves. The Tower comes in. This is a time of change. This is a time where a 16-year cycle of change can be coming to a head, where we start to have realizations and revelations that we wonder why they never came before. We wonder why we never saw this or found this bit of information or heard these ideas. Our mind is blown. Things are changed because divinity is saying we can't stand where we once stood. We can't be what we once were. It's time for more. And if we stayed where we were comfortable, where we were stagnant, where it felt safe or at least it felt familiar, we wouldn't reach and achieve the extraordinary, which is what the King of Pentacles is bringing us. Wealth and prosperity, being seen for wealth and prosperity, bounty, or what we value as much as money. The moon usually does not boil things down to dollars and cents and how much money we have in our bank account, though it would be nice if it did. What we are going to see here is that we start to be seen as people who are prosperous, as people who are bountiful, as people who call forward blessings, as people who attract to them more than others can imagine. And it moves so, and we move towards this sense of putting things together, of opening up our world, of planting seeds, of harvesting greatness, of having so much wealth come to us that we will not know what to do with it. But what we first and foremost have to look at during this time, and again, wealth does not mean that all of a sudden our bank accounts are going to overflow. It's a sense of happiness. It's a sense of walking that road of happiness and contentment and harmony and understanding of soul and desire and self, and it broadening our world in such a way where the bank account can start to flow in, can start to overflow, can start to become bigger. But we start here with something much more meaningful and much more powerful. And when we turn to our inner selves, we start to see the poverty mentality. We start to see the being out in the cold, being kept away from wealth, being shut out of what would ease the burden of living. The only people who say that money doesn't matter are the people who've always had it. And if you've always had money, that is a blessing that is astounding and that should be cherished. But for those of us who haven't, it's hard not to be afraid, not to have the poverty mindset follow you, not to say, oh, I can't be wasteful because I might not have enough. I can't be this because it might all just fall apart. I can't spend money on myself. I can't take care of myself. I can't, make sure I'm okay because I need to save the dollars in a sense. I need to make sure I'm taking care of what immediately needs to be taken care of and holding on when all I want to do is let go. There is a sense here of the prosperity and the abundance that is a part of us not being seen. This can be from when we're little, and we might have been raised in a house where there were always arguments over money. One parent could have been, or guardian or caregiver, could have been very controlling over money. We might see money as safety, but not believe in our hearts of heart that we deserve to be safe. There are a lot that comes with money. There are a lot of issues, there are a lot of blessings, there are a lot of everything in between. And here, we're looking at them, and we're looking at the chaos of our dreams, of our hopes, of our wishes when it comes to prosperity and financial success. We're looking at how we could achieve financial success and then speak a curse over ourselves, speak a doubt, speak a fear, and have it keep on playing in our mind so that we push that success away and say, see, I wasn't worthy of it. This is a time where we look at the chaos and say, why the hell am I doing this to myself? It's time to break the cycle. This could be a cycle, a family cycle, a DNA cycle, where we're just not allowed to be wealthy. We're just not allowed to be successful. We're just not allowed to be prosperous. And it's time to say, oh yes, we are. You know, my grandpa worked 3 jobs his whole entire life. Had a 6th grade education because his teachers told his parents he was so smart, and they said, good, now go to work. And he fought like heck to be able to give my mom so much more. And that's what I see here. I see this fighting, this determination, this greater understanding to say there's more here. Take it. And it leads us to this place of bounty and prosperity. It leads us to this collaboration, to this building of something wonderful, to people looking at things and saying, that's so good, I want to take credit for it. That's so good, I gave you that idea. What we are called to do within our hearts is say, know your worth. Know your worth and stop doubting it, because something is coming up, and it's something that we have faced time and time again. And when it comes up now, what we are going to want to say is, I'm done with this time. I'm done with this. This is bull. All that is happening is chaos and heartbreak and pain and disappointment and anger and upset, and I'm done. I quit. We would have lost. This is a time where we look at it and we say, I'm just as good as everybody else. We might have 1,000,005 different reasons why we shouldn't. An addiction, a disability, a partner who told us we were worthless, and that we were lucky to be with them. Whatever the hurt that holds onto your heart is, it's time to let it go. It's time to say, you're not worth my time and effort anymore. I am victorious and you are walking away. I have the weapons and you do not. Because in medieval times, if you would have told somebody that if you won a battle, you were to shake hands, say good job, and let them keep everything, they'd laugh at you and then kill you because you were weak. It sounds harsh, but the world was harsh. You took what you won, and the person lost what they lost. This is a time where we take what we win. We take what we've earned, and we let the others walk away thinking, I misjudged that person. I misjudged you, Scorpio. You're stronger than I thought. You're fiercer than I imagined, and you stand more truly in your strength than I remember. It leads us to our public arena. During this time, we're going to think, I'm fighting for it. I'm tired of fighting, but I'm fighting for it. With my last breath, with my every ounce of effort, I will fight, I will defend, and I will win. Period. End of discussion. This is saying, stop fighting. This is saying, be mindful when you fight and what you fight for. There's an old saying. It says, beware the temper of, or beware the anger of a kind man. And why that's important is because when you have gotten somebody who's truly kind to be super angry, there's really no going back from that. So here, that is what we're showing. That is what we're being shown. We're being shown that when we lose our temper, or when we stand up for what we believe in, and we're not yelling and screaming about everything, people take notice. People look and say, wow, okay, That's fierceness. And we hone that fierceness. And then we can hold off hordes because we have reserved our energy and cradled our strength. We stand against the world, and we are not letting the world break us down. We are looking at what they say and saying, there is power to me. There is brilliance to me. I've stood this long. I'm standing longer. And I'm listening to what divinity guides me towards. I'm listening to the power of my heart, my soul, and my ideas. And the world is opening because I fiercely want it to open to me, but also to guide me forward towards what I need and want within my world. What is the chaos that is holding? What is the lack that is holding Scorpio back? What is the lack that is holding Scorpio back? What is the lack that is holding Scorpio back? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. It's that dreams can't come true. It's that no matter how much insight and ideas and passion and brilliance you have, to bring the dreams forward, to let them have life and have breath and have depth, is scary, it's overwhelming, and they'll just take the dreams from you too. This is a time where we learn how to dream again. How does this moon bring forward the dreams for Scorpio? How does this moon bring forward the dreams for Scorpio? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Trust. Trusting that we are nurtured. Trusting that there's power here, there's beauty here, there's space for us, there's purpose for us. How can Scorpio trust this moon? How can Scorpio trust this moon? How can Scorpio trust this moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Because you are very close to achieving your goals. And you will have the weight of the world put on you before you achieve, before you succeed, and before you move forward in the bounty that you were born to. Now, it can be that you had the achievement of your goals come, you saw it come in, you were like, oh my goodness, and then it slowly and steadily got taken away because there was doubt and there was fear and there was negativity and there was heartbreak and everything that, every curse that was spoken over you, every hurt, every pain, every disappointment, it started to come forward. You're very close to achieving your goals. Trust that you are almost there. And trust that you will be guided. Because this moon will guide. And I want to see, how does this moon guide Scorpio? How does this moon guide Scorpio? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Hold to your vision. Guide this reading and show me clearly. You and your loved ones are safe. It lets you trust and become and open up the world. Hold to your vision. You're safe. You and your loved ones. It's not saying that no harm will ever come, but this moon is protecting you. It is. What is the battle? No. Where does Scorpio? How does Scorpio need to stand their ground? Yeah. How does Scorpio need to stand their ground? Own their space. How does Scorpio need to stand their ground and own their power? How does Scorpio need to stand their ground and own their power? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. That's the Four of Swords. It's seeing how far we have come. And that's so interesting because the Five of Swords goes into the Four of Swords. It's that countdown. It's that sense of, I've been through hell and back. I've fought, I've worked, I've developed, I've put in the time and the effort. And now I'm becoming more. The Four of Swords is being able to honor what we have been through, who we are, how we are developing, and not to think it's all been for nothing. It has all been one heartbreak after another for no reason whatsoever, but just to see when I will shatter, how I will shatter, and how hard the tears will come. It's not that. Though the tears may come, it is to say that I've walked through hell. I've seen doubt and despair and anger and hurt. And I have not given up. There's strength to me that can never be taken. And I honor that. How does this moon honor Scorpio? How does this moon honor Scorpio? Because this is how we connect to it in our hearts. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Patience. Patience as we walk forward. Patience as the abundance comes. Patience as we start to see the path that our hearts desire. This is how our heart connects with the moon. And this is how our moon guides our heart, through patience and gentle whispers, the susurration of the wind through the leaves and across our face, and the desire that we have to move forward towards more. How does this moon bring Scorpio to blessings? How does this moon bring Scorpio to blessings? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. Your dreams need a practical plan. It's putting what is desired, the dream that we have that feels like chaos, feels overwhelmed, feels like it can never be. We start to bring it to a practical plan. We start to bring it to a practical place. It can be taking baby steps, inch by inch, saying, well, this dream can never come true if I don't sit down and do it, if I don't make time for it, if I don't hold space for it within my heart, within my desire, within my life, within myself. How can a dream come to fruition if I don't fight for it and I don't fight for me? It needs a practical plan. We need to be practical with the desires of our heart and the passion of our souls. And that's a bit hard for us, Scorpio, because we walk between worlds. We see things so differently than others that we forget, it needs a practical plan. It needs to be implemented in the here and the now. So by doing so, and by this moon giving us the opportunity to do so, it opens up a lot for us. And this is one of the more intense readings I've seen in a very long time. It's astoundingly honest, okay? What is it that Scorpio will be battling in the public arena? What is it that Scorpio will be battling in the public arena? What is it that Scorpio will be battling in the public arena? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. The feeling disconnected. Always looking back, always thinking, I could have done better, I should have done more. There is more to be seen here. And not seeing the unity in the here and now. That's what we're going to be battling. The sense of, I'm moving forward. Yeah, okay, my horse is heading that way, but I'm looking backwards. And I will be looking backwards because I should have done better, I should have done more. The couldas, the shouldas, the wouldas. The fact that the past will always be pain because it can never be recreated exactly the way it was. And it can never be redone. The Two of Cups is the minor arcana lover's card. It's unity, it's love, it's healing, but we're looking always backwards, never seeing the healing in the now. And that is the chaos that we face. That is what we are battling during this time. So we're battling not only the fact that other people want things from us, but we're battling ourselves. Because there's always just going to be this sense of inadequacy. And yet Spirit is saying that if we looked in the here and the now, and connected with our hearts, our souls, and our love, we would find a unity. If we chose happiness, if we chose to respect ourselves, if we chose to listen to what our heart longs for, even if our heart just needs to have a bit of a temper tantrum, it just needs to get angry and upset and say everything is unfair, and let it out, to start to heal, to start to connect, to start to see where our angels are guiding us. How does this moon bring unity to Scorpio? How does this moon bring unity to Scorpio? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. It brings protection. And that's what we were longing for when we look towards the past. Protection, safety, security. This moon starts to protect us. It starts to guide us. How does this moon guide us forward? How does this moon guide Scorpio forward? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. Show the world the real you. It says, be true to who you are, what you want, and what you are developing. Show the world the real you and let it shine. Intense. What is the energy that Scorpio needs to be mindful of? What is the energy that Scorpio needs to be mindful of? What is the energy that Scorpio needs to be mindful of? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. You need to be mindful of your own self. The Death card, this represents Scorpio in the major arcana. We need to be mindful of getting in our own way, being too much in our own heads, seeing things as we had thought they would be, not as they actually are. There's a sense of nihilistic tendencies during this time. The why does it matter? It's all going to end in destruction anyway. What's going on here? But if we step back and we start to unite with who we are and what we love and what makes us smile, what brings us peace and harmony and beauty, we start to see ourselves expanding in a very powerful and very profound way. So be mindful of getting too much in your own head, being too harsh on yourself, and not being fair to who it is that you innately are, and not seeing the blessings, but only seeing the deficiencies within the individual self, within yourself. That's going to be something that we need to be mindful of, because that's going to be something that can take on a life of its own and just lead us down a dark and spiraling path. The subconscious energy that we need to be mindful of is the Queen of Swords. That battle energy. We're going to be very ready for a battle during this time. And it can't just be that we get annoyed and we feel like, I just want to fight. I just want to fight. I just want to, let out this rage. And if we feel that way, we can either, go punch a punching bag, go for a walk, go for a run, or go to sleep. Go to sleep and start taking care of ourselves so that the rage comes out. Or if we want to really push our bodies, stand under cold water. Start with standing under cold water for 10 seconds. Try to get to 30 seconds just to make ourselves do something brave, do something crazy, and stand under ice cold water and then see where that rage goes, because usually that pretty much calms you down. It's like, oh my gosh, you come back into your own head. See if you can do that for a minute. Don't start off doing it for a minute unless, of course, you can, but build up to it. Challenge yourself. Start doing things that require a warrior spirit that isn't just endlessly fighting for no gain's sake, but knowing when to fight to make yourself extraordinary, because you're heading down an extraordinary path. The subconscious Luna message is path, because you're heading down an extraordinary path. That's brilliant right there. It's the path. It's a path that we don't expect and that seems rickety and absurd and, what the heck? And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, it brings us then to a new start is coming. We're very connected to this full moon, to this new moon in Gemini. We're very connected to around the 10th of June, new beginnings, new ideas, new passions, new fires leading us forward. It says here, a new start is coming because we're cultivating it, because we're burning away the old start, the old way of doing things. It brings us to our subconscious chakra message, which is psychic development, the third eye chakra. One of the reasons why this time is so intense, and especially for Scorpio, to have psychic development come forward, to start to see beyond the veil, to start to really embrace that hidden world. It's like coming home, but it also becomes so much. It can become overwhelming. So talking to our spirit guides, saying, I'm ready for this, but I'm not ready for that. I can move forward this way, but I don't want to move forward that way. Starting to be open and honest with ourselves and knowing that we're being guided towards more, especially during this time. That's important. Knowing that messages will come to us in our dreams and, in the most unlikely of moments. It moves us to our subconscious tarot message, which is the world. Subconsciously, the world is opening up to us. And it starts first and foremost in our mind, which is what the new moon brings us, this solar eclipse, this new moon. Because here, the world opens to him, because he has the book, he has the picture book, right? He has the fairy tales, and he's asleep. And all of a sudden, he can be anything. He can do anything. So it's carving those pathways in the mind. It's pushing ourselves forward. It's moving ourselves forward in ways that we had only dreamed. The world starts to come. And our subconscious message for this whole entire time is the Ten of Swords, the Minor Arcana Death card. The dying away of the old self, the rebirth of the new. Transformation after heartbreak and pain. The darkness before the dawn. Subconsciously, we're seeing why. And we're starting to realize why we had to walk through such darkness, such pain, such hurt, to rise where we are. To have a new path start to unfold. All right, Scorpio. I hope this reading has resonated with you. It is profoundly intense and not an easy road, but it was a brilliant message to give and to bring, to be able to relay, because there are extraordinary things that are here. And it's time to take the extraordinary. It's time to be the extraordinary. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy, as we embrace the beauty and the rarity of this supermoon. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Scorpio, and may you have a blessed moon.